Good evening, stuffed animals, teddy bears. I see we have a duck, a police officer, a panda, a doggy, and hey, this is my teddy bear from when I was a kid. My name is Tim. I'm the director of the library, and I'm going to read you a story today. It's actually a poem, but it's also a story called Casey at the Bat. It's a great baseball poem. Here's the cover. Okay. Here's the Mudville team. Casey plays for a team called Mudville. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair.
The library will be closing in 15 minutes. If you wish to check out materials, please bring them to the security immediately.
Hey Bears, Harold, I can see you're really enjoying the story. Actually, I just said they were in deep despair, and you may not know that word yet, but despair actually means they're very, very sad. Maybe they're sad because the library's about to close. I don't know, you guys are probably happy about that since you're staying overnight. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to that hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could but get a whack at that, we'd put up even money now with Casey at the bat. So now here's a picture of the game going on. Let's see, the pitcher has just thrown the ball. And what's Casey doing here? Casey is, well, let me tell you. But Flynn, that's not Casey who's batting, it's a guy named Flynn. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake. And the former was a Lulu, and the latter was a cake. So upon that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. Does anybody know what melancholy is? It means sadness. People were sad because they didn't think Casey would get the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and they saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third. Wow, look at this guy who's coming. Now's the time when Casey's coming. Then from 5,000 throats and more there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled in the valley, it rattled in the dell. It knocked upon the mountain and recoiled upon the flat, for Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat. 10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air, but Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said. Here's a picture of Casey. He's just letting that ball go by. He's haughty, which means he's proud, maybe a little too proud. From the benches black with people there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire, shouted someone on the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. Here's Casey. He says, hold on. Don't kill the umpire. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike 2!" "Fraud!" cried the maddened thousands, and echo answered, "Fraud!" But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. Here's all the people watching the game. They're not too happy that there are 2 strikes on Casey. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain, and they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again. Look at this great picture. The pitcher's about to throw the ball. Casey's all ready to probably swing that bat. The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball, and now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. He swung that bat for all he was worth. Oh, somewhere in this favored land, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. Somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Oh, the poor fans of Mudville. Their big hero struck out and lost the game. Wonder why they wrote a book about this. He struck out. Why do you guys think they wrote a book about this? What's that? Yeah. Well, baseball is a very, very hard game, isn't it? Hi there. But if you strike out today, you'll get another chance tomorrow, because baseball is played every day. I think that's one of the lessons of Casey at the Bat. Thank you all for coming. It's been great to see you. Come back to the library sometime, okay?